This is the ultimate guide to graphing systems of linear equations. Systems of equations mean more than one equation. And we're looking for where these lines intersect. If they don't intersect, if they're parallel lines, then there is no solution. But we don't have to deal with that yet. Here we go. Number one. Ready? Okay, we're going to start with this first equation, and it is in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. The b is our y-intercept. So we start at the origin here and we count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have our slope of -3. So that means we make it into a fraction, -3 over 1. Okay, over top of 1. How do we do that? We start from the y-intercept. How do we graph it? We start from the y-intercept. And a negative slope is always, you can always do that going down and right. Down and right. Negative slope, down and right. Write that down right now. Negative slope, down and right. Okay, so we start at the y-intercept. We go down 3. 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Okay, keep that pattern going. Down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. Draw my line through the points. All right, changing up the color. Please do it in 2 colors. Now we have slope-intercept form again. We have y equals m. Uh-oh, m's missing, but we know that if there's no number in front of the x, that means there's a 1. So that's mx plus b. So right in front of the x, there's a 1, and our b is -3. So the y-intercept is -3. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, the vertical axis. Now we have a slope of 1. So that means if we make it 1 into a fraction, that would be 1 over 1. It's positive, so we go up and right. Negative slopes go down and right. Positive slopes go up and right. All right, so we go up 1 over 1 and put a dot. Up 1 over 1 and put a dot. Up 1 over 1 and put a dot. Up 1 over 1 and keep going. And then boom, 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 boom. All right, and then we can draw our line through. And our solution is always where they cross. Okay, what is the coordinate pair that names that point? When we're doing a coordinate pair, we always see how that point relates to the origin. And it is 2 to the right and 1 down. So our solution for that one is going to be 2, -1. And submit, and you should get that one right. All right, next one, number 2. Okay, oh yes, slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b and y equals mx plus b. All right, so how do we do this? All right, we get our blue marker out here, and we first look at the y-intercept, and we plot that on the y-axis. That'd be -4 on that y-axis, and now we have a negative slope. So that's down and right. Negative slope, down and right. The top is how far we go down. The bottom is how far we go right. So it's down 1, right. Down 1, right. We ran out of space, so let's do up and left, the opposite, up and left. You just kind of can visually see how that pattern would go in that direction. All right. We can graph our line, throw a point through, change colors to red, and now we're on to our next equation. Slope, y equals mx plus b. So that y-intercept, where it crossed the y-axis, is right here at, no, that's wrong, Mr. Woodworth. It's right here at +1 because that's a +1. All right, and then we have a positive slope, so that's up and right. Write it down. I'm telling you, negative slope, down and right. Positive slope, up and right. Okay, so we're going to go up 1 and right 3. Up 1, right 3. Up 1, right 3. Now, this doesn't help me because I'm not going in the direction of the blue line. So let's follow that backwards. Down and left. Down and left. Mr. Woodworth, you did up and over 2. Up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. down 1 over 3, down 1 over 3, down 1 over 3. You know you're doing it wrong if they don't cross at a very nice point. Okay, there we have that one. And where do they cross? They cross right there. Okay, what is the location of that point in relationship to the origin? That's over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down 1. So that's to the left 6, so that's -6, and down 1. -6, comma, 1, boom. There's our answer for number 2. Number 3. Slide 3, we have slope-intercept form, which is great, and slope-intercept form, which is great. Okay, so the key is that there's the y by itself. All right, we're going to plot that first one. We're going to look at the y-intercept, which is -5. And we're going to see that we have a negative slope. So that means down and right. We're going to go down and right 3. Now, seems like that's going to be hard to draw my line, so I'm going to go up and left, up and left, up and left. All right, get my line drawer and draw that in. I'll change to red. And I see slope-intercept form. It looks like I have a y-intercept, or where it crosses the y-axis, of -1. And then in front of that x, the coefficient there is a 1. When there's nothing there, it's a 1. So that's 1 over 1, which is going to be up 1, a positive. So up and right, up and right, up and right, up and right. Now, it's not going towards the blue line that we want to cross, so we got to reverse that and go down and left, down and left. Ooh, look at that. Boom, right? They share that point, and that will give me my solution, which is going to be this point, what's its location in relation to the origin? It is -3 and -4. -3, comma, -4. Next. All right. We have 2 equations again in slope-intercept form. Yay, let's do that first one in blue. We see our y-intercept, so we go to our y-axis and count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have a negative slope, so that's going to be down and right, down and right. Okay, and it's a -1 over 1, so that'd be down and right, down and right, down and right. Keep it going. All right, and let's draw our line through all those beautiful blue points and change over to red. Okay, we have a y-intercept of -1 there. So get on my y-axis and go to -1. And then we have a slope, a positive slope, so up and right. So 2, so that's 2 over 1. Like if we make it into a fraction, that'd be 2 in the numerator and 1 in the denominator, 2 over top of 1. So we go up 2 and right 1, up 2 and right 1, up 2 and right 1, down 2 and left 1, down 2 and left 1, and draw our beautiful line in. And we can see obviously where they cross, and that's right here. And a relation to the origin, that would be +2, +3. And you can see that we always count from the origin. We always count, we have to walk to get to the elevator, right? Origin is where you enter the building, then you walk to get to the elevator. So we always put the x coordinate first, then the y coordinate when we're doing coordinate pairs. Next, let's go. All right, this is another nice slope-intercept form one. So we plot our -3. So go to the y-axis and plot -3. And we have a slope of 1/2. It's a positive slope, so up and right. It says up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. And oh no, I messed that last one up. I went over 3. There we go. Okay, I got my graph there for that one. I'm going to red now. I'm going to plot my y-intercept, which is -2. So on my y-axis, -2 would be right there. This time, though, I have a slope of 1/3. It's also a positive slope, so I'm going to go up and right. Up 1 over 3. Up, that was over 2. Mr. Woodward, come on. Up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. Down 1, left 3. Down 1, left 3. Down 1, and left 3. All right, this one's a tight one. It's a little bit weird. It crosses right there. Right there. And what are the coordinates there? That's going to be from the origin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 0. All right. I hope that you're getting the hang of it. And now we're going to switch gears a little bit. All right. We did most of this in class, but we have to, this is not in slope-intercept form. The way you know that is because the y is not isolated. So we have to actually find the intercepts. So we solve, we plug in y, 0 for y and solve, plug in 0 for x and solve. So what I'm going to have to do is pause for a sec. All right, guys. So this equation here is not in slope-intercept form. So what we have to do is we need to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. And we do that by plugging in 0 for y and 0 for x. So this would be x plus 0 equals 4. So x equals 4. That's my x-intercept, 4, 0. And this would be 0 plus y equals 4. So that'd be y equals 4. So that's 0, 4. Okay, I'm going to plot those 2 points. 4, 0 means I walk 4 and then I don't go anywhere in the elevator. And 0, 4 is I don't walk at all, I go up the elevator. And I'm going to draw myself a nice line there through those points. All right, now the lucky for us is that we have this guy here is in slope-intercept form, and that's easier to graph. Less work. I go to -5 on my y-axis, right? I count down 5 from the origin, and now I go use my slope of 2. It's positive slope, so up and right, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And I draw my line through, and I see they cross right there. I give that location, which is over 3 up 1 from the origin. So that is going to be 3, 1. Woohoo! All right, 3, 1 for that. Moving on, number 7. Okay, oh boy, 2 in slope-intercept form. I mean, not in slope-intercept form. So 2x plus y equals 4. So now we got to find the x-int and the y-int. Okay, we do this one by plugging in 0 for y. So that basically cancels out. So we divide by 2, x equals 2. So that's 2, 0. That's 1 point. The other one, we plug in 0 for x. That basically cancels out. So y equals 4. So that's going to be 0, 4. So let's plot those 2 points. That is 2, 0. So over 2, up 0. And 0, 4 is right there. Draw our line. All right, it goes down there. All right, and now we have to do our other one. So that's -2x plus 2y equals 8. And we find our x-int and our y-intercept. And now we go and plug in. So negative 2x plus 2 times 0 equals 8. Well, that part cancels out. So we can divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2, x equals negative 4. For our x-intercept, y-intercept, we're going to plug in 0 for x. That basically cancels out, so we can divide by 2, so y equals 4. Our coordinate pairs would be negative 4, comma 0, and 0, comma 4. So let's plot those now. Negative 4, oops, let's go to my red. Negative 4, comma 0, and 0, comma 4. And when I draw my line in here, kind of extend it there. There we go. All right, we see that they cross right here, and that coordinate pair, or that location for that, would be 0 walking, 4 in the elevator. So that's oops, 0, comma 4. All right. Next. Woohoo! All right, we got at least one that is not, that I don't have to find the intercepts for. That's good. But for this first one, we have to do x plus y, equals 5. And so for my x-intercept, I plug in 0 for y. So x plus 0 equals 5. So that cancels out. So I get x equals 5. So that's 5, comma 0. That's 1 point. And now my y-intercept, I go x plus y equals 5. Oops, I was supposed to put a 0 in there, right, which cancels out. So y equals 5. So that's going to be 0, comma 5. So let's plot those two. We got 5, 0, and 0, 5. And we draw our line through. Whoa, I did not want to use that type of drawing tool. I wanted to use this type of drawing tool. There we go. All right, now we got to do this one, but it's in slope-intercept form, so that is easier. We just simply take that y-intercept. It's a positive 1 right there. And our slope is 3 over top of 1 if we make it into fraction form. So that means up 3 and right 1, or down 3 and left 1. Okay, but the key is that we can draw our line through and see where they cross right there. What's the location of that point? That is walk 1, get in the elevator and go up 4 floors. So that'd be 1, comma 4. Whew. Okay, 2 more, last 2. Yay, the first one is in slope-intercept form. I'm going to graph that first. We got plus 6, so on my y-axis I go up to positive 6. And I have a positive slope of 1/4. Now, tricky, because if I do that slope of 1/4, that means I go up 1 and right 4, which would take me somewhere up there off my grid. But I can see how that would follow over this way. So I could go down 1 and left 4, down 1 and left 4. All right, and then I can draw my line through those points. Now I have this guy, which is not in slope-intercept form, so I got to go over and figure out what those intercepts are. So my x-intercept, I plug in 0 for y, so x plus 0 equals 1, so x equals 1. So that'd be 1, comma 0. And then I have my y-intercept, so I plug in 0 for x, so I get 0 plus y equals 1, so y equals 1, so 0, comma 1. All right, so these are my 2 points, boom and boom, except I'm supposed to do them in a different color. So let's see. Oh, I just followed, see, I thought those two, I follow that same slope in between those. I plotted the slope-intercept, I plotted the x and y intercepts, And then I saw they were 1 and 1 away, so I just followed that kind of staircase up to see what would happen and how these would cross. And they cross way over here from the origin that is left. You're going to walk left 4 and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that is going to be -1, comma 5. And we're on to our last one. Okay, we got, hey, we're finishing off with a somewhat easy one. It is, there are 2 lines in slope-intercept form, so we just have to put our, find our y-intercept. That would be -3 in this case. The slope is up 2 and over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. All right, I'm going to draw my line in. Beautiful. And now change my color and plot this other one. We have a intercept of -5, so that's there. And then same slope this time. Interesting. Up 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. I keep thinking they're going to cross, but they just don't cross. And draw my lines. And what do we call lines that never cross? Yes, if you read this through, which you should have, down here, it says type no solution if the lines are parallel. Why are they parallel? Well, because they have the same rate of change, the same slope, 2 and 2. So they're never going to get closer because they're rising at the same amount. Okay, so that would be no solution. Okay, hopefully you fixed everything on here and you have the tools you need to be able to be experts at solving systems by graph.